Good morning, fellow roamers. It's that time of the week again. I am ready to set back off to Cheshire. Thank you for all the support and the likes and the views on the last video. I'm still new to this YouTube game, but this video is going to be an absolute belter. There's going to be a Manchester United story or two thrown in there on this trip. We're going to be talking about football, van life. I'm going back to train some clients, going to be staying 2 nights in the van. Everything's set up, ready to go. I'm currently in York, ready to leave. And I'm looking forward to it, so stay tuned. Don't miss this one, because the Manchester United stories are very good, they're humorous, and we all love football. We're football fans, and we want to know the ins and outs of our favourite football clubs. So, see you later. Right then, so second coffee of the day already, and yeah, I'm about 30-40 minutes away now, so heading to my first client of the day.
Out of 12 in the Prem, so
Okay.
it's going alright.
That's good.
Should be higher. They lost the first game of the season against that bloody team that they always get beat.
Oh, not them again. You need to give them a good panning at one day.
They did. They absolutely destroyed him, and they lost.
Five more. 6. Right then, here we are. So I have trained 2 clients already, which is good. After the drive, to be fair, down wasn't as bad as last week. Started a little bit later today, so that was good. And the traffic wasn't too bad. And I'm eating healthier this week. Last week was the meal deal. So there we have it. The tuna pasta, sweet corn, cucumber. Got some roasted mixed nuts to snack on. So yeah, I've actually got 2 of these for today. So one for lunch, one for dinner, looks like. So yeah, a little bit healthier. So I'm going to eat this, and then I'm back off to near Manchester to train 2 ladies, another set of clients. It's actually decent, this pasta, very nice. Lucky to have a fantastic girlfriend who makes me these wonderful dishes. But yeah, obviously, usually I bring some food, healthy food, and prep the food, so I'm not eating out all the time. Obviously, it's not always a way. Sometimes you've just got to buy some food on the go, but we try to be 80% healthy, at least. Always going to enjoy a bit of what I want to do and what I want to eat, but yeah. I've got like a 10-minute gap between me having to set off from my last clients here to my next destination, so I have to get the food in quick. It's like stop start. Well, it's quite fast paced actually when I train a client, so it's usually from back to back. So I'll set up the equipment because I'm a mobile trainer. Obviously some homes that I go to have their own gyms and stuff like that, which is quite luxurious. But yeah, I will usually set my equipment up, get the equipment out of the van, set it up, do the session, put it back in the van, drive to the next destination. So it can be quite back to back, so I'm usually rushing. I don't have much time to stop, but I've got a 10-minute break. But important to get the food on, the food in even. Yeah, so we keep going. 1 more session to go, and I'm looking forward to telling you this Manchester United story coming up later, so that'll be good, and I hope you find it interesting. Such a long time ago since I was at the club, and I think about United all the time, like nearly every day. It was like such a big part of my life, so it's nice to look back on the memories and especially some of the humorous times that I had at the club, and the banter and some of the stories. So yeah, I know that there's a lot of Man United fans that are on YouTube, and even other football fans. You don't have to support Man United to watch and to listen, but hopefully I can share plenty of stories with you. Nice Denise, nice straight back. So there we are. That's just the side view. That's Bramhall Hall, and yes, it is haunted. Apparently so, anyway. Well, the only day I come back, not been back here for a while, maybe many years, and it's got flipping scaffold all over it. Just my luck, that. Because this is one beautiful place, and I've never, ever seen this place with scaffold on it ever in my life. And the one day I come back for a nice little walk and show you guys, it's got a scaffolding on it. So, I am at Bramhall Hall, come for a walk. Client's done for the day, and yeah, it looks like they're doing it up, but it's a nice place this, lovely walk. So yeah, good day with clients. Trained my clients this morning into this afternoon, and I'll be looking after this walk for a place to think about staying for the night. So we'll see where I end up tonight. But I'm testing this out as well, so hopefully, got my mic on. I don't know why they've made them all fluffy. It's not like I can disguise it or anything. But yeah, I'm going to see where I can stay tonight after this walk. But there is a story about Bramhall Hall in Cheshire. Don't know if any of you are familiar with it, but apparently it is haunted. And I'm going to try and find... Well, I do know it's about some Red Knight. Apparently he comes back on his horse, and there's a haunted room as well. I have been in there in the past, and it's pretty cold. I'm not sure I believe in ghosts, but I would like to see one day. So it's getting a little bit dark. It's still quite light, but I can tell it's next half an hour it's going to be a bit dark in here. And so Bramhall Hall, I just thought I'd research the ghost, because I'm into all that, you know. I'd like to see a ghost, but never seen one. Yeah, I just like to see one walking around, just to know that they're true. And it's all, you know, it's not a lie, it's all true. But I might even stay in a haunted place. I've wanted to do that for a while, so maybe I can do that. Maybe stay in a haunted room somewhere. So, Bramall Hall. It's said to be haunted by at least 2 main ghosts. The Red Rider, a horseman who appears around New Year's Eve, and Alice, the maid of Bramall Hall. She was a servant, apparently. So you've got the Red Rider, who comes on New Year's Eve, and then you've got, oh, I'm thinking of hearing things now. I don't think they come out in the daytime, do they? But you've got Alice, who was a maid, a servant. So the Red Rider is believed to be a visitor from the 1630s, whose disappearance left the owner dead, while Alice's ghostly figure lingers in the room where she died of grief after her loved one was murdered. Bloody hell, it's a bit deep for a Wednesday afternoon, isn't it? So the Red Rider, imagine him just riding round on his horse. So he comes on New Year's Eve. I bet you if I come on New Year's Eve and stood here, I bet I don't see the Red Rider. I bet you any money. Ah, oh, bloody ducks. Absolute savages, lot of them. Nope, ain't got no food for you. Well, I hope the bloody night rider doesn't turn up now. I bet this is where he rests, isn't it? I bet this is... His home must be here somewhere under these trees. He comes out at night, doesn't he? Wonder why you don't see ghosts in the day. What do they do? Sleep all day? So, a lot of people through the years, you know, they've asked me, what was it like at United? What was it like behind the scenes? What was it like going into training every day? Which I'll do another video on that topic. There's a lot of different topics I can do. What's it like? What's the insights? You know, and I can only say from when I was there, I'm 39 now. I left when I was 21, so 2006. But like I said, I was there when it was the unbelievable team, you know, winning mentality, and yeah, it was amazing to be brought up at Manchester United, and it was all about, I would say, the club was set on standards, right? Discipline, standards. Something as little as being late. I know this, I don't want to bore everybody too much about it all, but you know, everyone's late now and then, but you couldn't be late now and then at Manchester United. We used to have, especially in the reserves, we'd have the coaches stood there on the door, right? So if you thought you were going to be late and you thought you could sneak into the training ground, you couldn't. You were fined instantly. If you were 0.1 seconds late, you were fined. And, you know, we might have had a captain of the team who were, you know, taking fines, and it's something as little as that it's sort of like it sets you up, you know, for high standards. So if you're late, what else is going to slip? You know, oh, I was only late, it doesn't matter. Well, what's next? What's going to happen next? You know, you don't sort of train properly one day of the week. Oh, it was only one day out of 7, or one day out of, you know, the week that I didn't train right. I'll be fine. Little standards add up, right? So if you're late and you're late and late and late, and it builds on top of each other, then your standards drop. So it was all based around standards, and I loved it. And you know, we learned discipline, and like I said, everybody at the club was, you know, under the same rules. So it wasn't one rule for one player and one for the other. Everything had a high standard. So that was looking back, I'm not sure things still happen like that. I know, you know, you've had a few players being fined lately for turning up late, and it happens to us all, doesn't it? Sometimes you're just stuck, aren't you? You know, just stuck in traffic. Although, I don't think I could ever imagine Roy Keane ever being late, ever. You know, so they're the standards you're looking up to. And not only does it help you better on the pitch, you know, it helps everything in your everyday life as well. What standards do you set for yourself? And that is something we learned at Manchester United quite a lot. How to look after yourself, having clean boots before you go out onto the training field. You know, if you even have a bit of dirt on them, you know, it's not looking good. And, you know, these little fine details is what I'd like to see if that's changed today, because like you said, it could be the old school era and all that, but I think these small things add up to big wins. So usually that is a really nice old Bramall Hall, and it's full of scaffolding, which is a shame. And I keep hearing, I swear I keep hearing Alice, but I'm the maid. I'm sure she's not out doing a ghostly things at this hour, but I'm telling you, I'm hearing ruffles and everything. Something's not quite right. But yeah, I'm going to head back, I think, before Alice and the Red Knight Rider come and get me. Yeah, I can sort of tell how it's got a bit of an eerie setting here at the moment. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that's where the Knight Rider lives. He's in there somewhere. Who knows? Maybe he's under that bridge there. But yeah, gonna get back in the van. I am gonna go and figure out somewhere to settle down. And yeah, I've got a little bit of dinner and gonna do a little bit of work. And although it is midweek, I do feel like a pint. I might have a pint tonight. So, done a fair few 5 or 10 Ks around here. So there it is, Bramall Hall. And as you can tell slightly in the background, it's obviously white and black. It is a beautiful place. As you can see, full of scaffold. But I think where you can see the end bit there to the left, obviously you can't see with all the poles, but the haunted room is next to that somewhere at the front. You can see it when it's clear. But yes, so Alice the maid is in there getting ready to go and spook somebody. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure I believe in it, but I would like to. Yeah, so each age that I played for United, that we moved up on the 10s, 11s, 12s, it was a massive win because, you know, this was at the time when Sir Alex, you know, and his team were the best in the world. We were winning Champions Leagues, competing at the highest level. And so what happened to us, you know, every year players would be coming from all over the world to take our place. You know, they'd be coming from the best clubs in England. you know, City, Liverpool, coming from abroad, you know, places like Barcelona. And so yeah, you'd have all these kids coming from, you know, Spain, Italy, Germany, America, Africa, all over the world, South America. And you know, this was happening, you know, at a young age. So you know, you've got a lot of local lads from Manchester that dream was to play for United, and you know, some of us did that, but the percentage was so low. There were lots of players getting offloaded at 8, 9, 10 years old, 11, 12, all the way up to the first team. So we had to be better than the talent that was being brought in. We were always had to be on our toes. We was always, you know, someone's always going to be looking to replace you and take your position. So that was also interesting looking back, you know, at really what an achievement it was to get all the way through up to the first team level. Bloody branch nearly fell on my head then. That's flipping Alice, I'm telling you. Or the Night Rider, but see that? Well, I'll take that back. Maybe there is maybe they are lurking around there. I'll tell you what, if I was under that, it would have caused a bit of damage, that, to my head. So yeah, so, you know, growing up at United when they were the best in the world, you had to be on your game, and then the amount of players that you see, you know, that make it even to under 16s, 17s, and they think, oh, I'm here now, I've made it, I'm in with a chance. You've not even made it when you play, you know, 50, 100 games for United. You know, that was the mentality. Every game is a new day. Every game is a new chance to be the best you can be. So, yeah, you were never secure, and it was something that kept us on our toes as kids, and you knew you had to be the best. Anyway, me going on again, that's why we used to train hard, me and my dad. We used to train seriously hard, and, you know, we'd train on Christmas Day, we'd train most days, okay? And that's why I got the chance to go all the way through. And I know I only played, 5, 6 games, whatever, but it was a journey, and it is something good to look back on. Still got all my football shirts as well, so this is the hill that used to do loads of hill sprints on this, and I'm not sure how it looks from there, but it's long and steep. So it's look back down there. I mean, if you really start at the bottom, it's probably going to take you a minute and a half to get to the top, actually, maybe a bit longer, but you could cut it in half. So I used to train a lot up here, especially staying one step ahead. I was always a good runner, so I wanted no one to ever beat me. So I used to do a lot of extra running training. Saying that, I'm flipping out of breath walking up here. Can't even walk up it anymore. But yeah, nice to come back to this point. Remember trying to get to this gate here, and then slow jog back down, repeat times 10. So that's why all the scaffold is up, it's getting restored. The roof, thanks to a 1.6 million grant from Arts Council. Okay. But yeah, if you've not been to Bramhall Hall before, check it out. Unbelievable place, really nice. It's got a cafe actually as well, so you can make a day of it. The car parks are really big. You can go for a good walk, loads of little lakes, and then the cafe's actually really nice as well, so you can get a good coffee, some lunch, and you can actually go in the hall as well. Yeah, you can go in the hall as well, I think, for a small fee, and go in the haunted room. So give it a go if you want to pop to Cheshire for a day out. It's well worth it. He's only gone and done it. He's only gone and done it. Nice little Guinness before I head back off to the van and settle down. Yeah, so I love a Guinness, nice and cold. We can have one, can't we? Chill me out for the night and then back to the van. Still don't know where I'm going to stay tonight, to be honest with you. But I'll find somewhere nice and chilled. So there's a place in Manchester, and if you're from Manchester and, well, you go out often there, you're probably going to know this place, and it's called Mulligan's. And when did I last go now? I went with Amelia. We went out in Manchester a fair few months back, and it has got the nicest Guinness ever. Like, it really is good. I think it's a Man United pub as well. It is a big Reds pub. So if you're from Manchester and you've never been, or you go into Old Trafford, get into Mulligan's, have a Guinness, and they do like a stout as well. Is it like a forge? Is that how you say it? Like a forged stout or something like that? Like a really nice one. But yeah, that place is... I have not had a Guinness that good anywhere since that place. So check it out. This is a good one though, to be fair. Very good. Yeah, enjoying that. It's nice. That is good. So I've got the same meal that I had for lunch. Tuna pasta, cucumber, sweet corn. And although it's cold, it's really nice. It's got lots of flavour to it, so I'm happy. Job's a good one. Right, I'm going to take a break from eating my dinner and I'm going to focus on this story. So anyway, this was a long time ago, so I can... With the holiday, it was definitely Malia that we went to. So we went to Malia. This was in the off-season. I can't quite remember everyone that went on the holiday, but Nardiello was there. I went away with Danny, and it was a great holiday. You know, just letting your hair down and stuff like that. So great summer. And I didn't even drink at the time. I never drank. I don't think I touched a drop till I was 24, 25. So I was a late developer to the drinking game. Didn't really interest me, to be honest with you. So I was quite late into that. But we went to Malia, had a great holiday. So, for some reason, I decided to dye my hair bleach blonde. And it was really, really bleach blonde. So I dyed my hair after the end of the season. And then I decided to shave it to like a number 4, number 3. So I had a bright blonde skinhead, basically, but it wasn't down to the bone, so there was a bit of hair there. And I thought, oh, this looks all right. You know, something stupid you do when you're 18, 17, 18, whatever age I was. So I went away, went on holiday, and obviously in the sun, it bleached even more, so it went really, really bright. And I'm like, yeah, I quite like this, but in the back of my head, I was thinking like, well, to be honest, at that point, I didn't care really too much what anyone thought of me. I was full of confidence and, you know, I was playing at United and, you know, I was doing well. And I was in and around the first team. I was sort of knocking on the door. Anyway, great holiday. Got back to Manchester. Start doing the training, getting ready to go back to pre-season. And I used to love going back to pre-season because I always knew that I always used to work really hard in the off-season. So I knew that I would be one of the fittest when I got back. But anyway, I drive down Carrington Lane, you know, that long lane into the training ground, and I'm excited. First day back. And I pull up to the training ground, you know, go in, say hi to everyone, get my kit on. And when you're a pro at the club, so you sign your professional contract and you're full time, you all eat in the canteen together. So you've got the first team players and you've got Sir Alex. They generally have their own sort of section or table at this point. You know, as a young lad, you're not going to go up and get breakfast and go and just plonk it down and sit next to Ronaldo. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got your reserve team table and under 18s and stuff like that. So I walk into the canteen and I'm excited, can't wait to be back. I sit down, I have my toast and my cereal, whatever it is, porridge, I can't remember, obviously. And then all of a sudden, Jones, in my office. Like 5 minutes in my office. And I'm like, oh no, you do not want that call off Sir Alex. Let alone if you've played 100 games, 500 games. And I'm, at the time, I don't even think I've made my debut. Maybe I have, I can't remember. I might have played one, or I might not have made my debut yet. Crap, I think I know what this is about. And I tried to sort of disguise the blonde skinhead. And it was starting to grow out a little bit, so a bit of the roots were coming through. But it stood out like a sore thumb, basically. So, Jones into my office. I'm trying to eat my breakfast. I'm excited for pre-season training. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, the lads sitting around you, they just know. They're like, oh, good luck, Jonesy. Do you know what I mean? So I probably didn't even eat my toast and I didn't eat my cereal. I just don't think I even ate it. I think my stomach turned upside down, to be honest with you. But anyway, so I went in, I waited outside, waited for him to go back in. And so I went on to the outside of the door. And when you've played for United, you'll know this, that, if you got called into his office, you had to knock on the door and wait for him to answer it. And his office was really big. I remember going in there a few times and I was like, knock. Sir Alex Ferguson, you're knocking on his door. You're probably in trouble. So he opens the door, and I walk in and, he was straight to the point. Get rid of that. Get rid of that haircut now, today. That haircut's got to go. We don't want any, prima donnas around here. This is Man United. You need to get rid of the blonde. So I'm like, I knew it was the blonde hair. So I thought, well, I'm a good lad. I'm a good player, and it was always going to come off. But I'm thinking, how am I going to get this? How am I going to get it out? Because it's already a skinhead, so it's already blonde and short. So I'm going to have to go like really short here. I'm going to have to like go home. I'm going to have to get it off to the bone. Do you know what I mean? It's going to have to like go like a 0 or like a really, really razor short to get the blonde out. So anyway, he was like, get it off. And I was like, if he says get it off, you're getting it off, basically. So I was like, great, got to get out of here. I've got to get this off. So I remember going home that day, I used to cut my own hair. Even when I played for United, I never had a barber. I literally used to give myself like a short back and sides. I remember, like, imagine the United player doing that now, cutting their own hair before they go out to Old Trafford. I used to cut my own. So I go home and I take it to 0 and I'm like, shit, it needs to come off. So all the way off. And I remember just taking it off, and I've had a skinhead a few times, but I looked ill. I just looked, it looked terrible, but I thought, got to be done. So went back in the next day, my hair down to the bone, and the blonde was off. So that was a funny story. It's all humour, and you get it, don't you? You don't. At the time when I was coming through and the kids were coming through at United, this was a time where it was black football boots only. So you could only wear black football boots, and no one was running around with pink, yellow, green, orange boots on. And when you look back, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Because it's standards, set the standards. No one stood out. Everyone had black boots on. And Sir Alex at the time, he was like, I'm a young player coming through. And, he knew that I was going to, make my first team debut, or certainly, get given a chance. He was going to give that to me. And he was basically putting me back down a peg or two. Don't turn up with, looking different and all this. So these are the funny stories that I look back on. And, I think this is what made the club great, especially the young lads coming through. We didn't, we all followed, a certain sort of set of rules, and we all worked really hard. And yeah, it was just, it's good to look back on, but I always remember that story. I always laugh my head off because, having to come in with like nearly down to the skin, I look like a nutter, but yeah, I think I let it grow out after that, but I didn't dye it again anyway. But yeah, these are the stories that you remember, and and a lot of people go on, about Sir Alex and, was it like the hairdryer treatment and all this? It wasn't always like that, do you know what I mean? Like a few times that he'd pull me in the office to like really really praise me, and he would say, you know, you're doing really well. You know, if you keep doing this, and this is what I want you to do, you know, to get into the first team, you know, you're going to get your chance, so keep going. So he was a big motivator as well. But yeah, it was like that old school mentality is something that I took into my life outside of football. So, you know, it's all humorous, funny stories, and I think that's what the game's missing today a little bit. Do you know what I mean? That sort of standard that's set for the young lads coming through. Will we ever see it again? Who knows? But if you do want to hear more stories like this, keep following my channel, because I do want to show you the behind the scenes, what it used to be like and my experiences. And like I said, you know, I was no world beater, you know, but I played 5 games for United, and you know, it was my dream. My dream came true. I played for United with Ronaldo, with Rooney, with some of these amazing players. And I seen what it was like to be brought up at a time when the club was very, very successful. So subscribe if you can to my channel. Like, follow. They're the 3 things that, you know, will enable me to keep putting the stories out. And I do enjoy talking about it, because when I retired, I kind of just shut myself off from football. I've not really talked about all this, but I know that there's a lot of fans out there and people that want to understand what it was like, you know, especially when the club was successful. In Manchester United was at that time where we were winning everything. So I seen that, and I was growing up, you know, in the club at that time. So yeah, that was a funny story. Got plenty more to come. So I will keep going, keep telling you the stories, and yeah, showing you what I get up to in everyday life. Bloody light keeps going out in the van. Oh no. Oh, there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that story. But yeah, it was good. It was a good one. Good one to look back on. And yeah, I've eaten my second dinner. So, or my second lot of pasta anyway. More pastaed up. I have got a little treat for tonight. And last week I had the white Twix, and I love a white Twix. And they need to sponsor me, because I do love a white Twix. And I've got another, right? So there's the choice of the white Twix. Buzzing. Or one will be for tomorrow night. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not eating them all both tonight. Yorkie. And I used to love a Yorkie. Old school Yorkie, can't beat it. But I've got an issue. And it's a big issue. And you must have seen this yourselves, but everything is shrinking. I don't know if you remember a Mars bar from the 90s or even the early 2000s. It was a proper Mars bar, wasn't it? Like a good, solid, decent sized Mars bar, Snickers. This Yorkie is pathetic. I don't know if the camera picks it up. It's thin. It's not even... It's split into 2. I'm sure they didn't used to split them into 2. It's pathetic that these companies not realise that we know that they're shrinking our chocolate bars and a lot of other things as well. I'm not happy with it. I'm just not. You know, I'm paying good money for that, and it's shrunk massively. Sleep, and I don't even think I had a chance to say good night to everybody, but great sleep. And it was where I slept was really dark, so yeah, it was like having blackout blinds last night. Had a really good sleep. I'm up early this morning, so what time is it now? Well, I was up at about 6 on the dot, just before 6 o'clock. Got a quick Costa, local petrol station, and I'm just outside my clients now, so going to train them. And then my next clients are literally 3 doors down, so I'll load the van back up with the weights and then I'll go 3 doors down. So yeah, it's going to be a good morning. And oh, it's really getting cold now. The winter is coming, as you can see. Right guys, that is it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the stories, especially about football and the old Manchester United era. I am going to be throwing a lot of different things in my videos. Like you can see, I like to walk, I like to, you know, stay fit, I like to have the odd pint, I like to, you know, train my clients. So there's a lot of different things going on. But if you did enjoy, please remember to subscribe. It will help my channel to grow. Like, comment, because I would love to interact with you guys on the comments as well. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and I will be back. I've got plenty more stories to come, so do not go anywhere. Keep your eyes peeled, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.